Genesis 9:1. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. You know, it's our job, and it's a blessing from God that we can fill the earth. But as Christians, we're not to just fill the earth with people. We're to fill the earth with His followers. Okay. Hosea 7:10 through 8:6. Hosea 7:10 through 8:6. Seven, 10 through 8, 6. And the pride of Israel testifies to his face, and they do not return to the Lord their God, nor seek him at all for all this. You know, many times people of the world are going to live as the world. They'll never see God because they don't have God. But oftentimes we, as the church, react in a way where we try to fix all our problems, where we try to take care of things ourselves. But we don't turn to the one who needs us, who can fix it for us. Okay. Verse 11. Chapter 7. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt. They go to Assyria. So they were this is where they would end up putting their allegiance. They relied on Egypt. They relied on Assyria. Well, Assyria would be the choice that would end up taking them, because they'd become captive to Assyria when Egypt did not back them. When in truth they could have relied on the Lord, and the Lord would have took care of them. Verse 12. When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven. I have chastened them as their congregation has heard. So the Lord was going to chasten them, chastise them, because they were His congregation. When a church isn't living as the church should be, the Lord is going to react. The only times this may not happen is when this particular group, particular person is not of Him. It's not His congregation. If we don't receive chastisement from the Lord when we're doing things that are against Him, then we're not. Chapter 7, 16. Okay. Woe unto them, for they have fled from me. Destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me. The Lord prepared salvation for them. He was ready to redeem them, yet the fact that they fled and would rather have destruction. Truly, those that do not submit to God, that's exactly what they're choosing to do, whether they realize it or not. God has redeemed them, and for them to reject the Redeemer, Jesus, they're accepting the destruction that is before them. And Israel knew the message, yet they rejected it. Blame God for the troubles that have came their way. That's the lies they spoke of, and they blamed Him when all He did was good for them. Verse 14, chapter 7. And they have not cried unto me with their heart. When they howled upon their beds, they assemble themselves for corn and wine, and they rebel against me. So they're going through the motions, receiving corn and wine, but they're not serving Him. They call out to Him, but it's just words. They're not pouring their heart out to Him, giving Him true devotion. Verse 15 of chapter 7. Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me. So their thoughts is doing evil. which as doing evil, it's doing evil against the Lord. When we sin against the Lord. Often, if we think of it that way, then every time we do wrong, it's against the Lord. Sometimes people's excuse, well, it don't hurt anybody. Well, every single sin hurts the Lord. The reason why he died. The reason why Jesus died on the cross. Full of hurt for us. Our sins, our wrongdoings hurt him because they put him there. Verse 16 of chapter 7. They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a deceitful bow. Their princes shall fall by the sword for the rage of their tongue. This shall be their desertion in the land of Egypt. It's just a recap of what they're doing. They'll fall by the sword. This was a prophecy. And this would be fulfilled. And the Lord was going to do this through them. To teach them. Ephraim in whole would never return to the Lord. Judah would. Ephraim wouldn't. It's because they kept desertion. They'd be mingled among other people. Because the thing that separated them, made them distinct, their faith, would vanish from their lives. And they just dwell among others. Chapter 8, verse 1. We're going through 6. Set the trumpet to your mouth. He shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law. Eagle is a vulture. It pecks off dead things. And it's not comparing. It's saying that the Lord's going to send somebody. He's going to pick up what's left of you and just ruin it because of what you did. Verse 2. Israel shall cry unto me, my God, we know you. So they're going to cry out to God. The fact is, it's not from their heart. It's from, okay, if we cry out to God, this ain't going to happen to us. It isn't, we'll cry out to God because He's the Lord. It's more of what they can get out of it than going to the Lord. Verse 3. Israel has cast off the thing that is good. The enemy shall pursue him. They cast out God. They cast aside God. So the enemy was winning because of that. Because God's protection was no longer there, they'd be defeated and conquered. Verse 4. They have set up their kings, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew it not. Of their silver and their gold have they made them idols, that may be cut off. So idols, they made their idols from the things that God blessed them with, their silver and their gold. Now, the northern kingdom was never a kingdom set up by the Lord. The Lord called David. The Lord called David's sons. The northern kingdom does not come from David. Their kings were set up, but they were never set up by the Lord. They were set up by them. Your calf, O Samaria, has cast you off. Mine anger is kindled against them. How long will it be ere they attain to innocency? So they're saying we're innocent. They're worshiping a calf much like Moses did. They're worshiping that instead of God. It's become their idol. For from Israel was it also the workman made it thereof. Therefore it is not God, but the calf of Samaria shall be broken in pieces. So he's going to bring down their God to show them who the true Lord is. He'll do that. If we put a God before him, he'll show us who he truly is and how he's truly God.